I flew to India to meet my family for the first time in almost 30 years. I want to tell you guys the full story, not the short version, but the real one. Because it's the reason why everything in my life looks different now. Look, I was born and raised in Canada. India was just a place somewhere my parents talked about. I heard about my family there, mainly from hearing their voices over the phone calls or talking to them myself, but I never really actually met them. And in almost 30 years, they were family just by name, but not in memories. Look, nothing really prepares you for that moment. You walk out, you don't know who you'd meet first, and before I knew it, I was surrounded by everybody. It was crazy because I was hugged by people that I've never met, but for some reason, every hug felt so familiar. And it didn't feel like I was meeting strangers, I actually felt like I was returning home. And after a couple days in, I met my Chaiji, my Masi, for the first time, and she said something that I'll never forget. There's actually one night in Masudi that I think about all the time. Nobody checked their phones, nobody left the table, everyone just stayed because the conversation wasn't done yet. And Masudi, the first night there was probably the best night I've ever had in India. For them, it was a normal life, but for me, it was showing me exactly what I was missing my entire life. And I think that's the night I started questioning everything that I wanted in my own life. Now, the hardest day of this trip was definitely the last one. I kept looking at my brothers, my sisters, my nieces, my nephews, and it was hard for me to accept that I'd no longer be a part of their everyday lives. To be honest, I cried that entire week before the day I actually left. And every day I would just pray that something would happen and I just wouldn't have to leave. And I have one photo that day, which I'm going to insert right here, that I look at more than any other picture I own. This right here is my whole world, plus Vanya. Then I came back to Canada. I unpacked. Everything was kind of the same again, except the only thing that's different was me. And since then, honestly, I've been questioning exactly what home means to me. But at the same time, I already know the answer. And now I'm genuinely just going to document my entire journey. There's more to this, and we're going to unveil it as we go on. But I just really hope you guys follow along on my journey. In a way, it's kind of weird because I'm going back home, and it's even weirder to say that while I'm sitting in my home. I don't know how to explain it sometimes. It's hard to explain a feeling that I genuinely don't think anybody's ever gonna understand. It's been so hard. You know, like every day I wake up and I'm hoping maybe today I'll miss them a little bit less. But then every day just feels like the first day again. I think about walking to Sonupe's house in the mornings, and I'd look at him, he'd look at me, and we'd have this funny eye contact. I'd go to my bhabhi, so I'd say her name, give her a big hug. I think about Monu Bhaiya and how I would have my deep conversations with him. I think about Mini Bhabhi and how we'd connect on a different level. I think about the kids. I think about Kirti. I think about Adi. I think about Ninmay. I think about Abhiraj. I think about Shilpa. I think about Shilpa's daughter Manan. I think about Jeeta Mama and Veena Mami every day. I think about how me and Jeeta Mama would talk about life. He became my best friend. He was my uncle, and he also became like this grandpa role that I needed because I never had my grandparents. I think about being a mommy, and I think about the way she would love me and nurture me when I was there. I think about Deepu. I think about our laughter. I think about our car rides. I miss them so much. But the person that I miss more than anybody is Vanya. Vanya came into my life. I've never had spoken to her, and she's probably the biggest reason why I'm coming back. She helped me find me again. She introduced me to me again. And I'll forever be grateful for that. And it's like I talk to them on the phone every single day, and it's like I watch them walk around the home that I was in. I watch them walk around the room that I used to sleep in, and my heart just sinks. I'm not very a stubborn person. I'm not a person who gets stuck on certain things because I feel like you should never just force something if it's meant to happen, it should happen. But it's crazy because this is the biggest challenge in my entire life. I'm 29 and people are telling me I'm making the biggest mistake in my entire life. Maybe I'll fail, or maybe I'll build something that I would never even imagined. And I really hope it's that. I love my family too much to just give up on this. It's not that I hate my life here or I hate it here. I love everybody here. I just found a deeper purpose of life there. I'm trying to build something, and one day I'll tell you guys why I am. This isn't like a success story. This is probably a beginning of one. But in the next 6 months, I am going to be going to experience a life in India. क्योंकि मेरा दिल ही में रह गया. See you guys.